Randy Kellner of Two Rivers, 29-1. Mark Schultz of Campbellsport, 32-0.
State Wrestling Championships. Right now we're moving on to the 105-pound class. And the first wrestler that you'll see come on the mat is Mark Schultz, the Class B champion, 32-0 from Campbellsport. His opponent, Randy Kellner, the A champ, 29-1 from Two Rivers. Right now, as you look at them, the young man with the C in the middle of his tights is Mark Schultz, of course, from Campbellsport, a senior, 18 years old, coached by Gerald Marking. Kellner, a senior, also 18, coached by Russ Wernsberger in his 8th year at Two Rivers.
Immediately we have a situation where Schultz goes right out, as he has again throughout the tournament, hustled and moving in for the takedown, except Kellner dropped in and got a good single leg, and that's where we are right now, holding it up and countering his, and he tried for a whizzer and did not get it, and Kellner goes on for the 2-point takedown.
Kellner has had 117 takedowns this year, Kirby. He's an excellent wrestler from his feet.
He is, and he has had success, obviously, for that many takedowns, but he's had great success in this tournament. And he will not be at all bothered, I'm sure, by...
Now Kellner leads it. He got the takedown, and Schultz gets credit for the escape, which gives him 1 point with 1:05 remaining here in the first period at 105 pounds.
The crowd certainly is very alive in this sort of situation. Of course, Campbellsport, the champions in Class B, and they're pretty proud of it. They've been making a lot of noise, and well, they should. Here we have a lot of hand fighting going on out in the middle right now. Actually, some officials might see that as stalling. Oh, and here comes Schultz in for a single leg, and not a very artistic one, but certainly it counts the same amount of points to go ahead 3-2, Marsh. He's riding tough on top, and this, I think, has been one of the marks of Schultz throughout the tournament. Been an excellent rider and a tough pinner down there. He goes right after people.
Kirby, just a reminder that WIAA Championship excitement will continue for the next 3 weekends. WIAA hockey on March 8th, girls basketball on March 15th, and then the WIAA boys basketball tournaments on March 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And we'd like to invite everybody along our WIAA Sports Network to join us for those telecasts. I'm sure they'll enjoy them. Clock winding down, 2 seconds, 1. That's the end of the first period at 105 pounds. And Schultz leads it by a score of 3-2. There is the scoreboard. As you can see, the time in the middle, 2 minutes. Well, he lets him up right now.
Kellner has immediately let him up, and he's not at all worried about that. He feels he can work on his feet. The score moves out now to 4-2 in favor of Schultz. From Campbellsport. Kellner is working.
All right, 1:37 left to go in the second period. And now the score is 4-2. Schultz leads it. Schultz decision marked Thedia Sturgeon Bay 1-0, and then beat Paul Gunderson this afternoon. Clear Lake 8-7, kind of a controversial match. Gunderson is a Class C champion. Kellner decision Jason Kappas, West Dallas Central 4-2, and then beat Jeff Summer out of Waukesha South 12-6 this afternoon in the Class A championship match to earn his berth tonight. Kellner is a B-average student. He'd like to study engineering in college and also wrestle, and he's a state AAU champ. He went to Germany to wrestle in an exchange program. He's a fine young man, both fine young men, and that's one thing I noticed as we looked over some of the information that we compile on these young men, Kirby, is that they all are excellent student athletes.
Yes, I think so, and that they wouldn't be here if they weren't. They've got a lot of work keeping in shape for wrestling, keeping weight down, and keeping up with the studies and so on. We have a lot of hand fighting going on out here, Marsh. Both these boys are excellent, and Schultz almost, of course, it went out of bounds, as you can see along the side there, but he almost got another takedown. I wonder now at the strategy that Kellner has had of letting him up. I think he's met somebody that can go just about as well on the feet, even though I don't think Schultz is quite as spectacular, nor has he had the record of takedowns. We'll see. Kellner's going to be forced now with 30 seconds to go in the second period to get pressing and get his takedown, tie this match up. There he's reaching in for a single, and he's getting in and in deeper and deeper. Now whether he'll be able to carry it off. Good countering on Schultz's part.
Kellner is the son of John and Vicki Kellner. His father's a fireman up in Two Rivers. And
there we go with a good single to a double by Schultz, and he moves out to a 6-2 lead now, and the strategy seems to be backfiring slightly.
And there's the end of the second period. Schultz leads it by a score of 6-2, and you are right. Actually, I think Kellner was a little surprised.
Schultz came right along with it.
Schultz finished second in the state last year. He was here in '78 as a sophomore, but didn't place. His ambition to be a state champ, he's going to have to keep the pressure on right now. He leads it by 4, and if he can do it for the next 1 minute and 49 seconds, his wish will come true.
Right, the fans will remember that Campbellsport put 3 wrestlers in the finals last year and were unable to come away with a single champion. And of course this year it's gone all the other way for them. They have a senior unit, and they have been awfully tough. 6-2 with 1 minute and 45 seconds. Mark Schultz of Campbellsport leading Randy Kellner of Two Rivers. Schultz riding with a crossbody ride and looking to try and turn Kellner with possibly a guillotine.
The referee for this match, Wally Dunn of New Richmond. The officiating has been outstanding for the 3 days of the tournament. And we've had some great wrestling. Right now,
Kellner's in trouble, bar arm, and he's just cranking it over. Schultz got that bar on, and he's just turning and turning, and there it is. The referee has started counting. We'll have at least 2 points, and there's 1 minute and 8 seconds of this third period. The score is 6-2 on the board, and the referee is counting, and there's the fall. The fall at 5 minutes of the championship match goes to Mark Schultz of Campbellsport.
Well, outstanding high school wrestling at 105 pounds. And as Kirby said, Mark Schultz of Campbellsport scores a pin to become the 105-pound state champion. Well, we'll be back with the 98-pound awards right after these messages. This is your WIAA network station. As the third place finisher. And now as we come to the field house, that's a look at the Class A champ Randy Kellner, who winds up as the second place finisher, and the state champion at 105 pounds, the Class B champ Mark Schultz of Campbellsport, who finishes the year with a perfect 33-0 record.